Can you?
I had to give something up to go up. What do you give up? When you don't make the 203 a day, do you not watch TV? That's your problem. You get to watch TV and not make money and still survive. You gotta hear what I'm saying. The reason why you broke is because you getting a reward and you ain't working. I'm not scared that some kid's gonna take my spot. If he does, he's gonna have to do it with sweat. He's going to have to do it with tears. He's going to have to do it with blood.
Okay.
He is going to have to get up at 2:30 in the morning. If he can get up every day at 2:30, he deserves to take my spot. Some people are taking your spot, and they shouldn't take it, but because you're average, it's easy to take your spot.
Right.
It's easy. It's easy to get to the place before you get there. It's easy to take that client before you get to him. It's easy. It's easy to beat you. Why? You average. Everybody wants to be a beast. Until it's time to do what beasts do. There's nothing that can stop me because my motives are pure. And the purer your motives are, that you guarantee yourself success. When you're doing stuff for yourself, you can't guarantee it's going to blow up.
Right.
And no disrespect, but this is why I need you to get your motives have to be pure. This is why. Because what happens is for each motive, it's a different level of energy. And some of you have like big dreams, but your energy is like a AAA battery. Your battery got to be able to push that dream. And if you got a big old dream, but you got a small engine, you're not going to be able to push it. If dreams were easy, everybody would make them happen. The problem is that I watch most people, they can't get up in the morning. They ain't got no energy. I'm walking through the airport running almost. Most people that I'm with, they don't got the energy to keep up with me. I'm like, boo, ain't nothing wrong with you. You just ain't got the stamina. You just ain't got the energy. You can't smart everything. You can't outthink everything. Some stuff is just, you gotta be powerful. It's just some stuff that you gotta have stamina for. You just too slow. It just take you too long. You wake up, take you 3 weeks to do what it could take 24 hours to do. It don't make you a bad person, but you're gonna forever be average because to be great, you got to keep up.
Yes, sir.
Today might not be the day, but soon it will be my day, and I will recycle my pain. Say, what do you mean, E.T.? You recycled your pain. I turned homelessness into a book. I turned my father not being in my life to a book. I turned an estranged relationship with my mom into a book. I turned being homeless into a book. I turned being a high school dropout into a bestseller. And not only do they sell it in America, they sell it across the world. What will you do with your pain? Will you let it break you or will you let it redefine you?
My Geico motorcycle policy can cover my helmet too.
Commercial.
So if it gets damaged, they'll replace it.
Y'all know y'all need
I'm on cloud 9.
Disclaimer, clouds are wholly unable to support the weight of an adult human. Furthermore, clouds are not numbered.
My son, my daughter, they drive me. What drives you? And this is why I'm telling you, because if a house drive you, you sweet, you gonna get one. Then what you gonna do when you finish? It's what she said. She blew this business up, and now she don't want to do it no more. You know how hard it is to blow a business up? You know how many people wish they could do what she doing? But yet she finished with it. Why? Because that thing was not strong enough to drive her. The Nobel Prize, that take me forever. I picked something that would drive me for the rest of my life. You doing it because somebody else told you to do it. You want to drive a Rolls Royce because everybody else drive it. You want to live in that house because everybody else living in that house. Like you got affirmation problems. You're not doing it because you really want to do it. You're doing it because you want to be affirmed. Let me tell you something. That's a great place to start. But when you get to your root, it's a whole other level.
Right.
Take all your energy for the dream because you're going to need it. And so if the second thing I can teach you is, for every dream you have, take at least a week or 30 days and write down every single thing that it's going to take to make it happen. And I want you to know something. After you write everything down, you still have not written everything down because you don't know what's going to happen. And so life normally breaks you because when it hits you, you wasn't ready. But if you ready, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. If you stay ready and you stay plugged up, when you hear bad news, it don't break you because you already energized. You have to eat the dream. You have to sleep the dream. You have to dream the dream. You got to touch. You have to see it when nobody else sees it. You have to feel it when it's not tangible. You have to believe it when you cannot see it. You got to be possessed with the dream.
Let's go. Hey, if you ain't motivated, hey, what's up? Welcome to another episode of Expansion Pack. I'm I'm your host, Dan F. Man. It's good to be in here. Mindful Mondays is not Fun Friday right now, so hold on, let me turn the music down. All right, y'all. Our topic for today is we getting started. Restarted, if you ask me. But started nonetheless. Forgive me, I gotta change up just a few settings so I can make sure y'all sound is good. Hopefully my program don't freeze on me, cause it do be doing that. Do be doing. All right, there we go, and we back. Mindful Mondays on the screen. Gotta get my expansion pack back up there. Bling. As you can see, we back in here. Let me get my box on there. I'm gonna get our motivation for the day, then we're gonna go ahead and get started. Let's work it out together, I believe. All right, here we go. Oh, look at that email. Where the hell is that at? I ain't even on the screen. All right, let me get the right thing on there. All right, there we go. All right, let's get this motivation, y'all. Motivation for, hold on, for men. It's Monday, we do the motivation for men. Wednesday, we do the motivation for women. All right, let's work.
What's your worst assignment horror story?
I had a 10-page paper, and that didn't turn out too well.
Just last night, actually, I had to do 20 idea journals.
You gonna do this? Okay, fine. That's all I needed. That's all I needed for him to do that, and it became personal with me.
For me, anger was good. Anger was good because it was motivating. The more I could create an enemy, the more I wanted to go out and kill those guys.
I've been listening to them laugh my whole career. An Irishman win a fight in the UFC? Hell no. Laughs all around. Hell no, he's all talk, he's all hype, he's a joke. The sound of laughter and the sound of doubt motivates me.
I saw you celebrate my losses like I wasn't gonna win again.
You gotta want to be successful so bad that you forget to eat. That's how bad you gotta want it. I'm just wondering if you are bold enough, daring enough, if you can believe in your dream again, if you can get committed, if you can make it personal.
Yes, sir.
It's personal.
Because it's about you.
It's personal. 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 It's personal.
Once I talked to Cuss, and Cuss talked to me over and over again, over and over again, every night for hours and hours. I just never had to worry about nobody ever bullying me again. Because I know I would kill them if they f***ed with me.
You've got to create a lot of different emotion to heighten your sense of awareness and focus.
It's about you ultimately actively moving through your emotions rather than being stopped by them towards a goal.
I think when change hits and it's personal, that's when the perspective shift comes.
Get into something that's really personal, that means something to you. I think that's the key to what we do. It's gotta be personal.
It's up to you to carry on. Remember, you owe you something. Continue to believe that. We all have desires and dreams.
Yes, sir.
Make your dream a reality.
Yes, sir.
I'm talking concrete commitment. The commitment that says, can I stay true to what I said I would do long after the mood that I've set it in has left? See, when you get personal, when you make it personal, everything changes.
Don't make it personal. What a joke. It has been personal. When week after week, I'm choked up, fighting back tears with every sentence. It's personal. I have waited my whole life. I will wait no more.
That's why they say many are called, few are chosen. It's about you having a vision, a possibility for yourself that has to do with being great.
Because I'm gonna make it personal. Because it's always been personal to me.
Right.
So you found out that the secret sauce in your life is the guy in your mirror. That it's not some outside variable that's going to come and save you. The cavalry's not coming. It's up to you, baby. Get up off the couch. I got to go leave the cave, kill something, and drag it home.
Oh, sorry, y'all.
deep down
that you...
It's personal. You gotta make it personal.
No matter what challenges I face, no matter what the statistics are, I will maintain unwavering faith that I can achieve the outcome that I want. And if I don't, I'll be at peace with it. That was my why. I'm willing to do everything in my power to fulfill my potential and become the best version of myself. It's an unwavering faith in possibility. That's it.
You gotta get fueled on the inside and say, now is my time.
And it's about you.
It's personal.
Yes.
It's about your core. It's about your mindset.
What do you actually want?
How do you want all of your life to go?
I believe everything happens for a reason, but I think we get to choose the reason.
Yes, sir.
And I decide my fate.
Nothing that you want will manifest itself unless you aim for it. And you won't aim for it unless you know what it is, and you won't know what it is unless you ask yourself. And then you might say, well, why don't you ask yourself? And the answer is, well, maybe no one ever explained to you that you needed to, which is a crucial issue. And then maybe you don't also trust yourself. If you had the job or career track that would motivate you, just hypothetically, what might that look like?
This is dreams we're talking about. We're talking about dreams.
Yes, sir.
It's just really rigid. If you become the best, you have to almost become fanatical.
Yes, sir.
You know,
yes, sir.
This is my life. This is all I live for. This is my air. This is everything.
Dreams require sacrifices. People don't want to sacrifice.
Yeah. Following your dreams is a lonely, solitary, scary, dangerous pursuit. You can't wait for somebody to think you can do it. And when you get to the point where all you want to do is be successful, as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. And I'm here to tell you, number one, that most of you say you want to be successful, but you don't want it bad. You just kind of want it. You don't want it badder than you want to party. You don't want it as much as you want to be cool. Most of you don't want success as much as you want to sleep. Nobody knows but you. You can't get advice on what you should do with your life.
Right.
You take control of the circumstances. You take control of the outcome. You take control of your life.
It's in our hands. It's on us. And nobody can make that decision for us.
It doesn't start with them and they. It starts with me.
Whatever the fuck you're doing, just prove to yourself it's the shit that you want to be doing. Build around that.
This is the only life that I have. And I'm going to take the leap of faith. I'm going to jump in it. I must live what's in me. And all of us have something in us that we must live. And if we don't know what it is right now, we must create it or we must find it. All of us have this, whatever this something is, that gives our life that meaning, that value, that power, and that happiness.
See, when you get married to purpose, married to destiny, married to who you've been destined to be, everything changes.
It's not about external validation. It's about your relationship to yourself.
Yes, sir.
You know, and you know when your head hits the pillow at night,
Yes, sir.
and when you wake up in the morning, what that relationship looks like.
It's not about them. It's about you.
Yes, sir. All right, y'all. Let's get this day started right. All right. We ain't gonna get... This sounds good.
Let me guess. You're thinking about going to therapy. And as a therapist myself, of course I'm going to say that's a great idea.
The scripture says in chapter 1 of Mark, verse 35, in the early morning, while it was still dark, Jesus got up, left the house, and went away to a secluded place and was praying there. You think about when you get up in the morning, how much of the world crowds itself into your thinking. You have to get dressed, of course, and eat breakfast, and you got to get in your car and drive down the expressway or somewhere and finally get to work. And as soon as you do, it's chatter, 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 chatter all the day. Or the keyboard's flying all the day and your mind is full. Then you've got to get back in your car, get back on the highway, and dodge the traffic again all the way home. And when you get there, you undress and try to relax, and then there's dinner. I can fill up your day and not even know you. And so where is God? Where is God's private time with you?
So where do we begin with our priorities? First and foremost, we must make certain that our top priority is God Almighty. Jesus Christ said it this way: seek first the kingdom and all of these things shall be added unto you. So many times we have it backwards. We are pursuing all of these things and we've forsaken the King and his kingdom. So many times we want the things that God promises without doing what God requires in order for the promise to become ours. God told the children of Israel, if you obey my voice, if you heed my commandments, I'll make you the head and not the tail. He said, make me your priority. Be as consistent as you can. Give it everything you've got every time you get up to go, because you have no idea when you're not going to get the chance again. It's the supernatural law of breakthrough. It's when you do the same thing over and over and over and over and over again that you begin to see the mountain of impossibility begin to move.
Prayer and perseverance go together. If you're going to become a person of prayer, you will be a person of perseverance. Jesus said, give us this day our daily bread. God has said he will give you everything you need for life and godliness. He said you don't have to worry about what you'll eat or what you'll wear or where you'll live, that God knows you need those things, and if you'll seek first his kingdom, he'll give you all of those things. But we flip it around and say, God, I'll seek your kingdom first when I get all of those things accumulated. Trust God on a daily basis. To say, Lord, you met every need I have today, and I believe you'll meet my needs tomorrow. So I'm going to leave that with you now while I lay down to rest tonight. You know, in the Bible, the day begins with sundown, and we go to sleep while God begins the day. And the sun rises, and you awake to join God in the day that he's already been diligently working at for several hours. So when you lay your head down tonight, Lord, I trust you for all the provisions I'll need tomorrow, the time I'll need, the wisdom I need, the resources I'll need.
When we talk about a life of prayer, we're not talking about once in a while. We're talking about that every day you sense the need, the desire, and the joy, and the awesome power that comes through praying, talking to the Father. That is, it ought to be a habit, something that is recurring in your life, not just when you get in trouble, when you get in need, but because you love God, because you're grateful for who he is and what he's doing in your life.
Pray about everything that comes up. Just pray. Come on, pray, 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 pray. Pray about everything. You don't have to be on your face or on your knees or in a closet or in the dark or with your eyes shut. It's good to have those set apart times with God. I have that every morning. But pray your way through the day. And don't let the devil lie to you and tell you that God doesn't hear your prayers. You say, yeah, but the things that I've done wrong, why is God going to listen to me? Because you don't go in your name, you go in the name of Jesus.
In the morning, when you get up amidst your prayer, or when you're meditating, before you even get out of the bed, you should say, Lord, I just want you to fill me with your spirit today. You can't live a godly life unless you have a good prayer life, because the prayer life keeps you connected to Almighty God, sensitive to his will and his purpose and his plan for your life. You don't pray, you won't live a godly life.
How are we building our life? I spent so many years going to bed at night regretting what I spent my day doing. And I don't want to do that anymore, and I don't want you to do it. I want to go to bed at night and be proud of what I got done that day. You know, waste of any kind is sad, and certainly the waste of an entire life is the saddest of all. How many of you know somebody that has just wasted their whole life? I will not live like that. I am not going to get to the end of my life and have nothing left but regrets. And the only way that you can not have regret tomorrow is to do what's right today. Today, we need to start making right choices. If God is dealing with you about anything in your life and you know that you need to be obedient to him and you're putting it off for another day, I think tomorrow's maybe the most dangerous word that we have in our English language. I'll do that tomorrow. I'll do that tomorrow. Well, what if Jesus comes today? I'm yelling to somebody, get up! It's time to get up! and start doing something with what God has given you.
Yes. Y'all give me 1 second. Let me finish this game. All right, there we go. Let's get another one.
Instead of jumping out of bed and rushing right into the stress of what you need to do, breathe. Take a moment to eliminate the stress and realign your mind, body, and brain with the joy that does live inside you. You get to choose if your day is going to be like every other day or if it's going to be a great day. And you decide first thing in the morning by giving yourself that time to realign your brain to positivity, to redirect your mind to what is good in your life. What is good in your life right now? Take a moment to think about it.
Start your day with intention.
All right.
Today, I will be present. Today, I will be kind.
I think we got 4
Today,
minutes to watch this.
I will be the example I expect of others. Today, I will give my all in every moment.
It's all about intention. When you direct your focus to the good, you will see more good. If your focus is directed to the stress and struggle, you will see more stress and struggle.
If you want to be really happy, give thanks.
Yes.
That's the secret. Happy people are grateful people. So spend time in gratitude. Spend time in intention and expectation for what a great day today is going to be. Feed your mind with something positive. Read or listen to something uplifting. Something that will grow your mind or spirit.
You attract your intentions. You attract your beliefs. You attract what you feel. So get up and feel good.
Yes.
When you direct your focus to the good, you will see more good. If your focus is directed to the stress and struggle, you will see more stress and struggle. That is your only job. Get up and get yourself feeling amazing. Ask yourself, how can I feel great today? How can I grow today? How can I make others feel great today? Open your eyes to the magic around you. I guarantee you, you have been missing out on miracles because you have been lost in the stress and noise inside your head. Get out of your head and get into the magic of life.
Today is a new day, a fresh, clean canvas. You can paint whatever you want on that canvas, no matter what happens. You are the artist. Add some color, some joy, some life to your canvas. Leave nothing off that canvas.
As soon as you get up in the morning, ask yourself, what's really important today? Is it important that I rush around stressed at everything I have to get done? Or can I just enjoy this moment? Can I set the tone for the rest of my day? You decide what kind of day you will have. Not what happens, but how you will respond to everything that happens. You can respond positively to any situation. Will you respond with presence? Will you see the good? Will you find a way around the obstacles? Will you write your own story, or will life write it for you?
Gotcha. All right. So now, let's say you at your first day at your new job. First day at new job. All right, let's go. First day at work tips. This looks like my man's gonna give us some good tips.
Do you want to know where to invest $1,000 right now? Well, forget about AI, quantum computing.
In this powerful training tutorial, I will teach you what to do and say on your first day at work in your new job. Now remember, on this channel, I always teach you the importance of first impressions. The same rule applies when you start a new job. You must make a positive first impression. And in this tutorial, I will give you 10 powerful tips to help you be confident on your first day at work, impress your supervisor, and build a connection with your co-workers. And just very quickly, if you are new to my channel, please make sure
y'all, make sure y'all subscribe. Make sure y'all like, hit that bell, because I'm tired of y'all asking me to text y'all.
Hit that subscribe button. I am here to help you progress throughout your career. I can only do that if you are subscribed. And please give the video a like. That really does motivate me to create more content for you. Thank you very much indeed. Okay, let's jump straight into the tutorial. Okay, to help you get your new job off to a brilliant start, I will teach you the following 3 things in this tutorial. Number 1, I will quickly explain why you must get your first day at work in your new job off to a positive start. Number 2, I will then tell you the 5 things you should never say or do on your first day at work. If you say or do any of these 5 things, you could struggle moving forward. And then number 3, I will give you 10 easy to remember tips that are guaranteed to put you across as a confident, productive, and supportive employee on your first day at work. So to begin with, why is it important to get your first day at work in a new job off to a positive start? Well, it's important because everyone in the team will be watching you. They will form an opinion of you within the first few hours of you starting work there. You will be like a magnet on your first day. People will be intrigued as to who you are, what you look like, how you dress, how you communicate, and how you are going to fit into their team. Now, whether it's right or wrong doesn't matter. Your co-workers and your manager will be watching you, so it's important to say and do the right things. So let me now help you prepare for your first day at work by telling you the 5 things you should never do. Here we go. Number 1, do not be late. This is important. Whatever you do, do not be late on your first day at work. Punctuality is crucial in all jobs. In fact, if I was starting a new job, I would turn up 15 minutes before my scheduled start time on my first day.
Turn up 15 minutes before. Don't turn up when you get there. Turn up 15 minutes before.
Number 2, don't gossip or talk disrespectfully about anyone, even your former employer. Also, if you've heard anything negative about your new employer, don't ask your co-workers if it's true. Instead, show yourself to be a positive and professional person who has integrity. Remember, you don't know your team members yet or who you can trust. The 3rd thing you should never say or do on your first day in a new job is book time off. Even if you have a holiday planned soon, booking time off on your first day at work shows you are more interested in not being there. If you do need to book time off, wait until the 2nd week of working there at the very least. Number 4, do not show off. Now, showing off is a surefire way to make your new co-workers wary of you. People who show off tend to be insecure and they need the admiration of others to boost their confidence. If you are great at something, wait until someone asks you about it or it comes up in conversation, because that way people will have more respect for you. And the 5th thing you should never say or do on your first day at work in a new job is be too familiar. Now, while your work colleagues will be checking you out on your first day to see what you say and do, you should be doing the same to them too. Now, yes, be friendly and approachable, but don't be too familiar, and avoid telling jokes or showcasing what you got up to at the weekend, especially if it involved drinking lots of alcohol. Okay, now we know what not to say and do on our first day at work in a new job. Let me give you 10 crucial tips for creating the right first impression, being confident, and building a good connection with your work colleagues. Tip number 1 is to wear a smart and professional outfit. Now, an easy way to show your manager and work colleagues you have high standards is to wear a smart and professional outfit. People, unfortunately, judge others on what they wear, and a smart and presentable outfit will show you to be a confident person who is serious about their work. Tip number 2 is to check your personal hygiene. This is very important. Now, at work, we often collaborate closely with other people, and if an employee's personal hygiene is not taken care of, some team members might steer clear. Tip number 3 is to greet everyone you come into contact with in your new job with a smile and a firm handshake while looking them in the eye. Now, a handshake says a lot about a person's confidence. If you don't introduce yourself to your team members, they might think you're rude. If your handshake is weak, they will think you lack confidence. Now, a confident greeting with a smile and a firm handshake will do wonders for a first impression. Tip number 4 of what to do on your first day at work in a new job is to ask questions and take notes. Now, a great way to create a first impression on your first day at work is to ask plenty of questions and take notes. You will have so much information to absorb on your first day at work, it can be overwhelming. Now, information about your role, what your team members do, their names, where the facilities are, and how the business operates will all be things you must learn on your first day. So ask questions if you're unsure and take notes of the important things so you can refer to them later on. Right. Tip number 5. On your first day at work, ask your manager the following question. What is expected of me in the role? Now, the answer to this question will give you the clarity and information you need to do your work to the expected standard and, more importantly, contribute to your team's objectives. Tip number 6 for creating a really good impression on your first day at work is to organize your desk or working environment. Now, at some stage during your first day at work, you will be shown where your desk is or the area you will have to work in. Keep your working space tidy and organized. This is important. People will judge you based on your tidiness. If your working space is organized and free from rubbish and clutter, people will respect you. Tip number 7 of what to do on your first day in your new job is to get to know your team. Now, on your first day at work, find out your co-workers' names and what their roles are. Again, take notes because this will prevent you from having to keep saying, "What's your name again?" and "What do you do?" Once you know your team members' names and functions, you can decide where you are going to fit in to the team. Tip number 8 is to find out what the company policies and procedures are. Again, this is important. So this is an area often neglected by people when they first start work. A company's policies and procedures are important to learn because they are the rules employees must follow. If you don't know what the rules are, you are more likely to make mistakes, which isn't a good thing when you first start work. Now, I recommend asking your manager the following question on your first day. What company rules and procedures do I need to learn? Tip number 9 is to set yourself SMART goals. Now, a brilliant thing to do on your first day at work is to set yourself SMART goals. SMART goals are specific, measurable, actionable, relevant, and timely. Write down a list of the goals you...
I need to hear that again because...
SMART goals. SMART goals are specific, measurable, actionable, relevant, and timely.
Gotcha.
Write down a list of the goals. Actionable.
Hey, let me write that down real quick for my specific, actionable, relevant, and timely. I don't know if y'all got that for y'all self, but I got that for myself. I need to see that.
relevant and timely. Write down a list of the goals you must work towards, the tasks you have to complete, and the projects you need to collaborate on, and make sure you give yourself a definitive amount of time to complete them all. Again, taking this type of action on your first day at work in your new job will show you to be a productive, organised and reliable team member. And tip number 10 of how to create a really good impression on your first day at work is to accept any social invitations. Now, if your co-workers invite you to lunch or a coffee break, accept it. There is a temptation on your first day at work to not take a break because you have so much to learn and absorb. However, it is important to bond with your co-workers, and a great way to do this is in a social setting. Okay, so the next thing to do, if you want to download the slides that contain all of that training of what you need to do and not do on your first day at work in your new job.
That's my man's. Look, first day at a new school. Nah, we ain't doing that. First day starting a new project. Y'all need some ideas on starting a new project. There you go.
It's Pod's biggest sale in history. Save up to 30% on moving and storage until May 19th.
Hey, hello project manager. Most probably you'll start a new project soon. And you must be wondering what you should do to make it a successful start to a new project or even your new career. Don't worry, I've got you covered. So here are the essential 8 things you must do during the first 14 days. Okay, let's start with tip number 1. People make up the first impression about you in the first few seconds after they meet you. Maybe a few minutes at most. And here are the main problems. First, it's hard to make a good impression if you are not prepared.
Yeah, we kind of went through them already. Hold on, y'all. Alright, so I just really kind of wanted to touch on getting started in the sense of what are you doing every single day? What is your wake up routine? What are you doing in the middle of the day? What are you doing at the end of the day? And then how are you repeating the process? What things are you kicking and what things are you keeping? That's kind of how I wanted to go with this. So let's try to get one more video in here that can probably kind of explain some of that. Daily establishing daily routines. Daily routines. Alright. Let's see what we got. Nope.
If I asked you what your perfect routine looks like, how would you answer? What are the habits that you've always wanted to start but never quite got around to? Or what are the changes that you've always wanted to make and they just never stuck? What are the bad habits that you would love to completely erase? We'll prepare to never ever watch another video about routines or positive habits, because these are the 3 foolproof principles that allowed me to graduate medical school whilst growing a 6-figure business and working full-time as a doctor, all whilst, would you believe it, being the happiest, healthiest version of myself. And I'm gonna be honest, it's way more straightforward than I bet you ever thought. Numero uno. No woman or man left alone. Building a routine is actually quite straightforward. It is basically just incorporating a whole bunch of habits. But if you see a habit as a solitary event, detached and in isolation from the rest of your day, you are doomed to fail. All habits need to be connected in a chain of events. And ideally, one of those events should be a reward. Now let's take the habit that has made the most dramatic change to my life and allowed me to continue working full-time as a doctor whilst also posting silly little YouTube videos online. Every morning I do 2 hours work between 5 AM and 7 AM before going into work at 8 AM. And let me tell you, there is absolutely nothing remotely appealing about 8 AM. I do 2 hours work whilst also posting silly little YouTube videos online. Every morning I do 2 hours work between 5 AM and 7 AM before going into work at 8 AM. And let me tell you, there is absolutely nothing remotely appealing about any of that. But there's one small factor, blink and you miss it, that has allowed this habit to stick. Every morning when I wake up, I initiate a chain reaction that is so built into my muscle memory, I could almost do it with my eyes closed. I make my morning smoothie. And then I sit at my desk with said morning smoothie. And the best part, the smoothie tastes bloody good. Without even intending to, I created a habit loop. If you're not familiar with habit loops, then do not worry.
Go ahead, break it down,
will be
baby
explained
girl.
and
Let
revealed.
go.
The cue is waking up and making my morning smoothie, which leads to the craving, which is how bloody good my smoothie is, and I tend to drink it at my desk. Thus, leading to the response, which is my 2-hour morning flow state. And to top it all off, I always keep a piece of paper next to my laptop every single morning with all my tasks that I want to complete on, that I cross off with a big red pen when I've done them as a reward. And just like that, we have a completed habit loop that I never even intended on creating. To build a good routine, never view habits in isolation. Always try and frame them in the context of a habit loop. And I can understand thinking of ideas for each of those 4 stages can be really difficult, but the concept of a habit loop is actually really popular. And if you are struggling to think of any ideas, just Google it. There are literally thousands of examples and ideas online, and try a couple and see what works for you. Principle 2, the tortoise versus the hare. On social media, we are bombarded by the habits that we should be doing. Wake up at 4 a.m, 5 a.m, 10K, have a cold shower, journaling, gratitude, green juice, no screen time, meditate for 30 minutes. No! Firstly, whilst all those habits are great, you need to focus on the ones that are actually going to contribute to the goals that you personally want to achieve. For example, if your mental health is on the floor, you should probably focus on a daily gratitude practice and moving your body and meditating. Or if you want to work on your physical health, then obviously develop a nutritious breakfast habit that you absolutely adore and get your daily steps in and move your body and drink your water. And if you want to be more productive, focus on brain dumping, having a daily forest target, or getting into the habit of a morning flow state. But don't just do all of them at once because social media tells you to. Secondly, you don't want to overwhelm yourself. Personally, when I'm trying to develop a positive habit, I try and only focus on 1 at a time, maximum 3. And once I've solidified that 1, 2, or 3, only then will I try and build up on my routine. Just like the tortoise and the hare, slow and steady wins the race. 3, the most important habit by far when developing a daily routine. Forgiveness. I recently went away to America for a family wedding and I had the most incredible time, but obviously when I came back I was so jet lagged that 5 a.m. was not happening. I was basically waking up 5 minutes before I had to leave for work, to be honest with you. Now, is that a sign for me to give up on my 5 a.m. morning 2-hour workflow habit that I worked so hard to build, all because I feel guilty and like all my hard work had gone down the toilet? Absolutely not. I just committed to making note of what time I woke up every day and tasking myself with waking up just 15 minutes earlier every morning until I got back to 5 a.m. And let me tell you, it took me a lot less time to get back to 5 a.m. than it took to develop that habit in the first place. So tell me why, whenever I'm talking about positive habits with my friends and family, the number one failure that I hear about is when they successfully build up a positive habit and then they let it slip for a day or a week, and then instead of feeling proud of themselves for sticking to it for that long, they feel deflated and guilty, and that guilt prevents them from just getting back to it and recognizing that rebuilding habits is so much quicker than building them up in the first place. When you start any positive habit or new routine, it is important to accept one thing: all routines are doomed to fail. These habits that you've spent weeks building up will crumble before your eyes. It might be a holiday or a friend's birthday or anything that breaks up the normal mundane everyday, aka the most important and beautiful memories in our life. I definitely don't need to tell you this, but when you're 90, you won't be telling your grandkids about the days when you woke up at 5 a.m. or had a cold shower for 10 minutes. You'll be telling them about your friends, your trips, your laughs, your meals, your drinks, the happy memories. But ironically, it will probably be the running and the gratitude journals and the healthy diet habits that allowed you to get to 90 in the first place. So I'm not saying that either of these two things are more important than the other. What I'm saying is the importance lies in the two things coexisting harmoniously. When your routine inevitably goes down the drain because you are enjoying life, be proud that you stuck to that habit for as long as you did and get straight back to it. If you want to see what my typical daily routine looks like, then I will pop a video here. Or if you want to see a little bit more of my life, then I will put a recent weekly vlog here. I hope you enjoyed this.
Well, now I'm subscribed. I liked the video, girl. Go ahead, keep doing your thing. Now, let's see about nightly routines. Let me see. And this will be our last one. I gotta go do my next part of my habit loop. Okay, let's see.
Hey friend,
The anatomy
what
of
on?
a perfect night routine.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Most frequently overlooked factor to... If you're anything like me, you fine-tuned your morning routine to get your day started on the right foot. But while we often focus on morning routines, our days are highly dependent on our sleep, and our sleep is largely influenced by our bedtime routines. Let's help you create an effective night routine. Dr. Jubal, MedSchoolInsiders.com. If a morning routine helps you get out of bed and lay the foundations to having an effective day, then a pre-bed routine is the opposite. An effective nighttime routine should focus on 3 main principles. First, set you up for a successful tomorrow. Second, activate the parasympathetic nervous system. And 3, optimize for sleep. Perhaps the most frequently overlooked factor to an effective night routine is knowing when to initiate it. Morning routines are easy, you just start them as soon as you wake up, but initiating an evening routine is more challenging. We too often are distracted by our gadgets, a new show on Netflix, or chatting with our friends and family. Sometimes the most impactful changes are the simplest, and that holds true here. A huge part of sleeping better comes down to waking up and falling asleep at consistent times. By practicing this, I've noticed I can more easily fall asleep, and I can even wake up at my intended time without an alarm clock. This is a more natural way to approach sleep, and you'll feel far more refreshed for the remainder of the day. So when should you initiate the night routine? If you're watching this video, you probably need between 7 and 9 hours of sleep. Figure out when you need to wake up and work backwards from there. My recommendation is you start your routine earlier than you think necessary, as there are sometimes unforeseen delays that come up. I personally give myself 1 hour from start until intended bedtime. Create a system that will consistently remind you, as relying on your willpower will likely fall apart. I've set up my Philips Hue smart lights to turn red in my living room and bedroom at 9 p.m. every night. This is my signal, and red light is also much more friendly to your night vision. You may also choose to set a recurring phone alarm instead. Now that we've initiated the routine, first start with your bathroom necessities. Brush your teeth, wash your face, shower, and do whatever else you need to in the washroom. Do this now, at the beginning of your routine, otherwise you'll startle yourself awake if you wash your face with cold water right before crawling into bed. Next, set yourself up for a successful day tomorrow. I approach this in 2 ways. First, reflecting with journaling. I created a custom journaling template for my evenings, which prompts me with 3 amazing things that happened today, 3 lessons learned, and what would have made today better. If there are other thoughts bouncing around, I'll make it a point to journal a bit further beyond my templated prompts.
Yeah, the journaling part of it is the best part for me, because I get to look back and see what I actually did or compare it to what I wrote down, all of that. So that part is real good for me. Oops.
This is important, otherwise my new business ideas or vacation plans will continue to occupy my mind, and it's more difficult to fall asleep. Putting down the ideas on paper helps to trap them and free my mind. This also plays into a concept pushed by Josh Waitzkin, chess prodigy and expert on learning. He recommends journaling at the end of each day on the singular most important question of the day, and posing it to your unconscious before you sleep. That way, your unconscious mind can mull it over, and you'll likely have a fresh take to brainstorm on it in the morning. Second, ask yourself if there's anything you need to do now to make tomorrow easier for future you. If I'm getting on a flight in the morning, I'll make notes on a post-it and put it on the bathroom mirror to remind myself to pack my toothbrush and retainers, since those are things I cannot pack until the morning anyway, and I don't want to forget. If I have a chaotic day tomorrow, I'll write the one thing I want to get done despite being pulled in multiple directions. If I have an early morning for filming a day in the life, I'll make sure I have my bag packed and my batteries charged. Or if it was an early morning for surgery rotation, I'll make sure my ID, pager, stethoscope, and scrubs are laid out for easy access so I don't have to hunt for them in the morning. The sympathetic nervous system is your fight, flight, and fright system, dealing with higher acuity situations. The parasympathetic nervous system, on the other hand, is the rest and digest system, dealing with more restorative functions. For optimal sleep, we want to activate the parasympathetic nervous system leading up to bedtime. There are a few ways to acuity situations. The nervous system is your fight, flight, and fright system, dealing with higher acuity situations. The parasympathetic nervous system, on the other hand, is the rest and digest system, dealing with more restorative functions. For optimal sleep, we want to activate the parasympathetic nervous system leading up to bedtime. There are a few ways to do this. First, lower your body temperature. Set your AC to a cooler level, or use a chili pad, or reduce clothing while in bed. I live in a hot climate, so I set my AC to 72 degrees and sleep in my underwear with a light blanket. I could get similar effects by setting the room a bit cooler and sleeping with a shirt and pajamas. Avoid things that stimulate you, like backlit screens, high intensity and loud music, or other things that your grandpa wouldn't approve of at late hours. Ideally, you shouldn't be using backlit screens during this time, but if you must, turn down the brightness all the way and try wearing blue light blocking glasses. And no, night shift helps, but it isn't good enough on its own. This is important, as blue light stimulates photoreceptors in your eye that suppress melatonin release from your pineal gland, which is an important hormone for the onset of sleep. At this time, some like to relax further by stretching or doing light foam rolling. Others practice deep breathing or meditation. I go with reading. I'll tell Google Assistant to kill the lights, then grab my Kindle, again using it at a very dim setting, and read something that will help me relax. This is often fiction, or a biography, or something related to personal interests. Currently, How to Build a Car by Adrian Newey, which is all about his 35-year career in Formula 1. On the other hand, if I read an intellectual business book, it's more likely to keep me up thinking. Once I feel tired, the Kindle goes on the nightstand and I'm off to sleep. One last point. If you're living by yourself, you only need to worry about your own preferences. But if you have roommates or family living with you, or a significant other that shares the bed with you, then consider how your routine may influence them and vice versa. Seek to find a system that works for everyone. For example, if your significant other sleeps before you, consider doing your night routine activities that may disrupt them before they go to sleep. Or if your family stays up later than you, let them know you're going to bed so they know to keep the noise levels down, and do the same for them. If you enjoyed this video, definitely check out my video on the anatomy of a perfect morning routine.
Alright, y'all. So we're going to get up out of here for today. I hope y'all enjoyed this episode of getting started. It's a couple things that I need to get started, which is the rest of my day. So I appreciate y'all for kicking it with me. It's been another episode of Expansion Pack. I'm your host, Dan F. Man, as usual. And this is DGTA TV. I'm gonna holler at y'all tomorrow. Tech Tuesdays tomorrow. Peace.
Hey Psych2Goers, welcome back to another video. Before we start, we would like to thank you all for the support that you've given us. Psych2Go's mission is to make psychology literal,
which causes transformation. Let's work.
In 1973, actor Anthony Hopkins was preparing for the role of his next movie, The Girl from Petrovka. It was the cinematic adaptation of a novel by George Pfeiffer. To delve deeply into the story, Hopkins wanted to read the original book before tackling his role. He then began an unsuccessful search through the bookstores of London for a copy, which took him an entire day. But he was told the same thing in all of them. The book was out of print, and there were no copies available. After the failure, he took the subway to go back home. There, he observed how someone hurriedly exited the carriage upon reaching their stop, unaware that they had left an object behind on the seat. That object was a book, and when the Oscar-winning English actor approached to pick it up and read the title, he was astonished to find it was The Girl from Petrovka. The anecdote would already be quite surprising if it weren't for the fact that, months later, with the movie released, Hopkins had the opportunity to meet the author of the novel in person and told him the story of how he had managed to get hold of a copy. The author was perplexed and told him that he believed that particular copy was his. He
Get out of here. Yes, sir.
had lent it to a friend a few months ago.
Right.
And that particular copy was his. He had lent it to a friend a few months ago, and the friend had lost it on the subway.
Yeah.
What were the chances of that event happening in that specific way? Events like the one described above happen daily, some truly fascinating. And I'm sure you've also experienced some strange coincidences in your life.
Yes, sir.
Maybe you thought of someone and that person called you right after. Perhaps you were thinking of taking a trip to a particular destination and found a guide to that place, or an acquaintance spontaneously mentioned that destination to you. Maybe you had a significant dream that later came true. What's going on here? Are these events mere coincidences or happenstances, or is something bigger and deeper happening? Often, these extraordinary coincidences are laden with meaning for those who experience them, creating a profound and sometimes mystical sensation, as if the universe is trying to convey a message to us personally. Swiss psychologist Carl Gustav Jung defined them as synchronicities and made the following statements. What I found when investigating this phenomenon thoroughly were coincidences that were connected so significantly that their chance occurrence would represent such a degree of improbability that it would have to be expressed through an astronomical figure.
Figures. That mean an astronomical figure, meaning that's so big. It's as big as the astronomical out there. Meaning the odds are 1 in 1 0 0 0 0 0 all the way out.
Jung explored how what appears random and chance could have a deeper and more transcendental meaning, suggesting that there is a connection between our consciousness and the universe. He asserted that our inner psyche and the external environment are linked in ways that go beyond standard cause and effect. In this video, we will explore the nature of synchronicities and 5 different types of synchronicities we may encounter. We'll see how, by learning to identify them and decipher their hidden messages,
I didn't know there was different types. Oh, we about to watch this whole thing.
we can synchronize with the universal flow and our higher self, attracting into our lives what we desire in total harmony. Let's begin. Synchronicities are very important because they are personal proof that reality is sometimes malleable, unstable, and sensitive to our consciousness. As Albert Einstein said, reality is merely an illusion, albeit a very persistent one.
Yes, very.
Synchronicities demonstrate that this world behaves more like a collective dream or a matrix-like simulation than an independent physical construction. Quantum physics has shown that physical events are ultimately determined by metaphysical factors. The observer, by the act of observing, determines matter. The reality of this material universe takes shape through consciousness, and synchronicities are a direct manifestation of this fact. The reality of this material universe takes shape through consciousness, and synchronicities are a direct manifestation of this fact. Now, let's discuss the different types of synchronicities we may encounter so we can easily recognize them when they occur. Warning or alert synchronicity.
Oh, come
Learn
on,
how to
Marshall.
reprogram your chakras to restore health back into your body.
These synchronicities occur just before a stressful or decisive event in our lives. They often occur when a situation involving a significant decision that can alter our destiny is approaching. This creates a point of disordered energy in our present timeline, making our corner of reality unstable. When the future is uncertain and there are several options we are considering, several alternative lines of time emerge as plausible possibilities. We know that what seems like a simple decision can lead to a huge and sometimes irreversible change in our lives. In such situations, Synchronicities can appear in the form of warnings or alerts, so that we do not lean towards a possible negative timeline in our lives. Imagine you are considering buying a house and you find a tempting offer. The price is low and you like the location. You are about to go to finalize the deal when your car won't start, so you decide to take a taxi. On the way, you witness an accident that further delays you. When you finally arrive at the bank, right in front of the house you want to buy, you see the police entering the neighboring house. All these setbacks make you reconsider your decision, and you decide not to buy the house. Later, you discover that the neighbors in the building are troublesome and cause serious cohabitation problems, which would have made your life very difficult if you had bought the house. If your car had started and you had not witnessed police intervention, you might have made a hasty decision that you would have regretted. This example illustrates how synchronicities can influence our decisions unexpectedly.